What is up, people? Are you going to text me?
No,
somebody else.
Never.
All right. Here we go. Oh, this is interesting. I'm pretty sure we're live. What's up, guys? This is The Drop, episode possibly 12, maybe 13. We don't know. Quinn Bishop, the band behind the music here at Cactus Music. Big week. What's happening? Let's get to it.
Oh, man. We got a lot of stuff. Actually, we're going to kick off with one that we didn't have last week. It had not arrived yet, but there is a new Lorde album.
Awesome.
Beyond the music, beyond everybody talking about the album cover.
Sure, which was an interesting choice, but
yes.
you know.
Well, you know, it's a recreation, I think, of it. There's a free album cover from '68.
Oh, that makes sense.
Artwork. Yeah,
that makes sense.
But this is a kooky release because she tried to keep it as environmentally friendly as possible. Right. So, oddly enough, there's not a CD of that.
Okay.
Because apparently CDs are not environmentally friendly, but records are. So, you know,
compostable.
Yeah. So even down to the shrink wrap is compostable. But you know, big record for her. I think a kind of a telltale moment. You know, the second record was a big departure from the first one. That's a problem. You have a giant debut.
Correct.
You know, what do you do next? I think she actually did very well with her record, even though maybe it wasn't as commercially successful as the first one. Very cool.
She just did. I just heard an interview with her, and she said, "Look, I'm never going to write, and there's not going to be another Royals." Yeah. You know, she's
a moment in time.
Right. She's like, she's just doing what she is doing right now. The track I heard, I liked, you know, and I love her voice, and you know, I just think, you know, I just think she's awesome.
I think she's awesome. I don't know if you've seen this, but so. And you may know of this, but have you seen on the Brit Awards the David Bowie tribute after he passed?
No.
So before, you know, The Art of Dying, right? David Bowie, before he passed, organized his entire release schedule for all of his posthumous releases and all tributes and stuff that he could. He handpicked her to play with his live band on the Brit Awards, and they do Life on Mars.
Yeah. I got to look that up.
Yeah. Watch that. Everybody out there. Check
I got to look that up. All right. Number 2.
And we're going to duck into some. Oh, let's do another big hit record for the week. New One Republic record.
My wife is very excited.
Is she? I mean, big. If we have pop stars these days, this is them. It's been a little while, but I'm sure this thing is bound for glory.
Oh, absolutely.
As all their records, you know, you're going to hear multiple songs from this thing
for
the next year.
There you go, man. All right.
And.
Cool.
You know, hey, let's talk about a couple of. There's, you know, every time we do this, there's always a couple of quarantine records in there, right?
Of course, sure.
Okay. So this one, there's a new Chrissie Hynde record, not a Pretenders record, but a Chrissie Hynde record, and it's her doing all Dylan songs. And this is kind of the best of what she during quarantine or during the lockdown. You know, Brits lockdown. She got through by recording a Dylan song.
Yeah.
You know, and would post a Dylan song with great regularity. And these are the best or most well received from all those recordings. It's a super cool record.
And I love Chrissie.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see the early Pretenders, you know, by the time I saw them, you know, James Honeyman had passed and God, what album was it? It was a huge album. And
maybe Get Close.
I think so.
Did Iggy open for him?
No, it wasn't. Okay. It wasn't. They played at the music hall, I want to say.
Oh, that's for the record after, you know, when she comes back with Learning to Crawl.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Such a great tune. Such a great voice. You know,
her book was crazy too.
I didn't read it.
It's out there, man. You know, it's interesting because you understand if you played music in bands, you understand that band dynamic.
Right.
And she essentially kind of never got over those two guys' stuff.
Sure.
Carries on.
I was looking on here just to see if, like, you know, I always like to see who plays on it. But anyway, never mind. Moving on.
Another quarantine record. Death Cab for Cutie did a covers EP.
Yeah.
It was a benefit, and I don't know who the beneficiary was of the funds raised. It's important info to know.
Sure.
But these are all cover songs, and it's them covering, and it's all Georgia based. So it's the Georgia EP, Georgia songwriter.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's TLC. This I like this mixed bag. Neutral Milk Hotel, REM, Big Chestnut, Cat Power, and TLC.
Yeah, and a you know, they did Fall on Me, which I got a little bit. Yeah, I interviewed these guys at South by Southwest, and they were they were, I mean, they're a pretty big band, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Sure.
and it was just one of those deals where I did not know what the interview was going to be going in, and it was at that billiards place on 6th Street. It was loud as hell. We sat in this little couch in the corner, middle of the day. They were playing a set that later on that night, and they took the time to walk all the way down through that mob to the billiards to sit down and just hang out with us for like 30 minutes. It was just a nice experience. I always like that from an artist when, you know.
I like to hear that.
Yeah,
because that's not always what you hear.
No, not at all.
Let's talk about a couple of hip hop records.
Let's go.
Again, one of those anniversaries makes you feel 25th anniversary of Outkast breakthrough record at Lorde.
Yeah, more Georgia.
Look,
more Georgia on our minds.
Getting more Georgia on our minds. Look at this thing. It's got 4 LPs in it.
What?
So, you know, probably when this record was released, it was common to do instrumental versions of records for clubs, you know, and for DJs, so that so the backing tracks would get used in other stuff. So what they did was they packaged the instrumental version of the record with the original LP for this deluxe edition.
29 total tracks on here. If you're an Outkast fan, this is a must have.
The great thing is if you fancy yourself a singer or rapper, you get the instrumental version right there. You can do your own karaoke at the turntable.
You can just rap at home. Do you rap at home?
Not so much. I don't think we've ever featured this format on the drop. It is the deluxe 7-inch single box set from J Dilla.
I've never seen that.
I know, yeah. That's only not many of these come out each year.
Doesn't matter. It's J Dilla.
Yeah, right.
It could be as kooky as you want to be, right?
And this is all unreleased material from him, breaks, beats, stuff that he used in recordings. But welcome to Detroit.
Is this amazing?
Yeah, super
cool.
cool.
What year did he die? Remember?
I don't recall. You know, I'll tell you what. Have you ever heard the This American Life about the guy that found a storage unit with all his stuff in it? It'll blow your mind.
Can you imagine?
It'll blow your mind. Yeah, this guy he just bought. He was a record guy, record digger, and he would buy up storage lockers. And there was junk mail at the top. And one thing he's like, that name kind of
right.
Because it was, and I honestly can't remember what his real name is. Yeah. But ended up all of the cassettes, like boxes and boxes, cassettes of all of the breaks and beats.
Just gold mine.
Yeah, and it's a great story. It might make you cry.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, go check it out. It's great. It's very moving. Very cool. Kill Rock Stars. That label is celebrating their 30th anniversary, and they're starting to come with some of their most coveted recordings on new vinyl editions. And we have an Elliot Smith record here, From a Basement on the Hill, and I believe this is the first posthumous record. You know, his recordings mean a lot to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And, he has the distinction of the only pop star I can think of to ever kill himself with a statement. Terrible. But I love this guy, and this it's cool that they're upgrading these recordings. They've added this one's the standalone LP. They've been doing a good job of adding bonus tracks. It's super cool. I love that. Wow, that's a good one. More anniversaries.
Good band.
Good band. The Kooks, 15th anniversary. I think that this is one of those releases that's really meant for the UK, but they release it in the States because it's just easier that way. But you get a whole bonus track, kind of their breakthrough record, Inside Out, and it's a whole separate disc of outtakes, again available on CD as well.
Really big here, never really caught on. I mean, it didn't feel like that to me.
Here is the problem with UK bands that break through in the UK first. They're used to driving 10 kilometers down the road and playing to
the next gig.
10,000 people, and then they come to the United States and they have to start by playing clubs, and they have to drive from San Diego to Austin.
Yeah.
To play to another 300 or 400 people. And America has a record for breaking up and coming Brit bands. Or in a lot of cases, they just they're Austin. To play to another 3 or 400 people.
Hey, if you're listening, I think you got an open mic on your end. We're picking some Apologies to the audience there if she's monitoring. Anyway, we continue. The show must go on.
All right, more reissues.
Go.
And this is stuff that's been delayed.
Cool.
For production is a big issue right now in the music industry because there's a shortage of plastic products to make records,
right?
CDs and that kind of stuff, and all this stuff is assembled by hand in most cases. And, the pandemic is not friendly to people.
It is not at all.
Orders and doing that, but this is something that people have been expecting for a while and anticipating. It's Beach Boys collection called Phil Flows, and it's outtakes and the original albums, but outtakes. Cool cover here of both the Sunflower and Surf Up records, which are two, maybe not their best-selling records, but
right.
two of their most regarded studio creations. And, people love these records, and it's this is going to be fun to listen to. They've done 6 different editions of this. The Big Kahuna, you like how I used a surf reference?
Yes, of course, sure. It's very subtle.
Is the 5 CD set with 108 previously unreleased tracks. And studio gearheads obsess over these records.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
because they just sonically sound amazing. Forget about the brilliant harmonies. Just like the way these records are assembled is super cool. So there's just mountains of unheard music on these. Yeah. And there's a big old giant LP box set as well. Of course, you can get the records packaged together in this set, just the original LPs. And, if you think the Beach Boys kind of end with I Get Around and California Girls, this is a great place to start
to really
learn about some
the entire catalog.
Interesting
a lot
music.
of the catalog. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
This is the picture disc. Spice Girls Wannabe turns 25. Look at that.
Feels like it was longer than that.
Know,
actually, this is one of those turns where it feels like it was longer than that. But 25, so we'll take it.
Who's your favorite Spice Girl?
There was a Ginger Spice interview, and recently, because she wore the was it like a corset? It was the British flag, the real super. Yeah. Like, how did you even get that on your body? Well, she talked about picking that in the video and the whole. It's on YouTube. You can check it out. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, a lot of humor there. Along with the music. It's funny because I think there were a lot of girl groups and boy groups too of that era that just kind of were very manufactured, but a lot of personality in that group, and that it's carried their careers on after the fact.
I didn't know anyone that hated them.
I mean, it's fun.
Maybe it wasn't your bag. But it was nobody was it wasn't like a.
It's such a pop culture.
Yeah, totally.
That's it. It transcends.
Totally.
So, and a picture disc, because if you're going to want to listen to a record, you must see the Spice Girls looking at you going round and round.
Yeah. It's hypnotic.
It is hypnotic. We're to go talk about some Americana records. There is a
look at this
brand new John Mellencamp live record from his tour in 2000, the Good Samaritan tour, and.
Wasn't a very big tour.
I don't think. Yeah, it wasn't a big tour. I think that this is the. I think what this is where he would have played what he would have done. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's funny.
I think it is too.
Is there anything in here?
Yeah. No. It's as artists move to being more environmentally friendly, they're abandoning. I've always thought it was weird. Anyway, that in the music business, they package affordable art in something that breaks as soon as you drop it on the floor. The jewel box was the standard.
It was crap.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
I mean, how many broken jewel boxes did you have in your collection?
All right.
All the hits are there.
Gosh,
he's got a lot of fans.
Yeah, of course.
So there you go.
Of course, no knock on that dude.
Hey, and I love it when we get to talk about regional records. So Bonnie Whitmore. She's played at Cactus many times. People might be more familiar with her sister Eleanor that was in the Mastersons with Chris Masterson, who's a longtime Houston guy. And they're both in Steve Earle's band. But she makes terrific solo records. She's a multi-instrumentalist, cellist, but Americana, great singer, brand new record.
Cool looking record.
Yeah, it's a cool looking record. It's a little, I like the downbeat title, Last Will and Testament.
Uh-huh. Super cool. There you go, guys.
Yeah, so
that might be
Austin
a little
artist
diamond
to
in the
Nashville.
rough for this week.
Yeah, so Brandon, good to have some regional music.
Texas, shout out
on the
drop.
On the drop. Okay, I know you like these guys. You're a Boris fan?
Sure, of course.
Yeah, okay. So
they have a great Instagram, by the way. It's really good.
So Jack White's Third Man labels, they've had an arrangement with Boris. How would you describe Boris to our
so kind of a very low and slow, I don't want to, maybe sludgy trio from Japan, very droning, very in that stoner vibe. I mean, if you could just record the sound of, what a glacier sounds like moving across the crust of the earth,
through Les Paul,
through a Les Paul and a stack of Marshalls, good band. Yeah. I like them. I don't know that that's for everybody.
Psychedelic, very, sometimes psychedelic, sometimes,
right.
Melodic, sometimes
slow and crushing, then
noisy,
it's ambient, and then it's just like being hit in the face with a hammer.
Yeah, so they released 2 records, which I think they're kind of all over the place. But these, I know one of them is a quarantine record, or lockdown record as well. This one I think is edgier, hardcorey, metally, drony, and all their music is out there for you to stream and listen to and check out. They're a kooky experimental band. And
Pitchfork calls it their most compelling album ever.
Ooh, that's wild. And
it says here, buy if you dig, Cro-Mags, Gudon. Wow, God, I don't know Gudon. I know the Cro-Mags, obviously. So yeah, that's got to be a little bit more up tempo than they normally do if it Cro-Mags.
Yeah, and you kind of don't know what you're going to get. So two records at once. So this record is supposedly a melodic, like very drum focused. One movement in 4, to double LP said, one movement in four parts in this record.
Once again, buy if you dig. If you dig, Steve Wright, Godspeed You Black Emperor, Slowcore, and Boris.
Yeah, there you go. If you like Boris, go ahead and buy
Go ahead, because we've got more Boris for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something real quick. Last week we talked about the new Deafheaven, which I bought.
Oh, I like this. This is
the next day. I bought it the next day when it was actually available.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? Man, it's amazing.
All right.
It is fantastic. It might be my album of the summer, just for me.
Wow.
It's chill. It's trippy. It's like out floating through space, and obviously the big thing about it was they kind of put the black metal vocals, that kind of it, because they would always mix these two worlds in their music, and there's none of that. It's all just like,
wow.
Yeah, it's just like beautiful ambient clouds with some really good vocals and some really good guitar parts.
Well, there's
highly recommended.
There's your enthusiastic endorsement. I love that.
Highly recommended.
And I love it when bands are growing and changing and doing stuff, because if you stay the same, people are going to criticize.
Yeah.
You might as well follow your muse and take it wherever it leads you, and just try to make good art.
Yeah. Or you change gears and nobody likes it and you get crucified and it's the end of your career.
That's happened to a metal band or two back in the day, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we have another big box set, and I was surprised that this band had never had a box set before. Folks, Gang of Four, which is a band that I think they're much lesser known than their contemporaries, like New Order.
But influenced everybody.
Influenced everybody. Post-punk band, angular guitar, super funky, incorporated dub.
Andy Gill, who we lost last year, the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that style of guitar playing, man, is just, to me, was always struck me the moment I heard it. And you and I have talked about this, when I was in high school or, in my 20s or whatever, plucking around on the guitar, and it was still hair metal and all this stuff. And, I think a lot of people felt that you had to be this incredible virtuoso, a million notes a minute to matter as a guitar player. And then, if someone like that, or like me at the time, and you hear like Andy Gill, and he's just playing stuff like you've never heard. It's
It's
just primal, just chank, chank, chank.
It's so rhythmic, right? It's like
Chank,
percussive,
just killing it. And I was like, oh,
I can do that.
You can do something else, you know. And I think these guys were wildly influential, at least for people I know.
Sure, and you know, kind of a singular voice with that angular guitar and then the funky bass.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know, incorporated dub and funk into the punk rock there.
A buddy of mine actually handed me Entertainment and said, "Listen to this."
Oh yeah, because that is the people. If you don't own that record and you like music from that era, you got to own that record. It's an essential foundation of you know post-punk. So
I can't believe I missed that Houston show. It's like five years ago, or whatever. They were here for.
Oh yeah, I miss it.
Yeah,
Dakota raving about it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so super cool band, and Matador doesn't do many box sets, so this is
I did not know.
This
that.
is cool.
And for what you get, and for the price of box sets that day, that's not bad.
Hardbound book, you know, everything.
That's not bad at all.
And then you
$79.
have, I mean, the list of people that are talking about how this music meant something to them. You know, Peter Hook, Joy Division,
Sophia Coppola.
Yeah, John Langford from the Mekons,
Michael Stipe. Sure.
So even
these are the moments I hate.
Not saying you have to run out there and grab the big box set, but check this band out if you're not familiar with them. Yes, they are a life-changing band.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, here's one of my favorite parts in the drop where I get to talk about an artist that I don't think people really know about that I love.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Steve Gunn.
This guy, Steve Gunn, he's a Brooklyn singer-songwriter, but he's a guitar virtuoso. Again, we're talking about people that
are amazing.
They're amazing. Yeah, but kind of defies. So he was in Kurt Weill's band. He's been in Magic Markers, kind of well thought of sidemen for other artists. But he's one of those artists that when older people come to me, it's like, you know, I really don't like that much new music. I don't hear anything that I really like. Right. Especially if they're of the classic rock mindset.
You're I
always like, man, you got to buy this Way Out Weather record by him.
So is it acoustic mostly, or
he mixes it up? It's very, it's in most of the rock records are very kind of, for lack of a better comparison, it's very Jimmy Pagey, you know, both the electric and the acoustic kind of stuff. It's very kind of English folk based, but with a rock band. Yeah. He's got a cool voice, great singer, good songwriter, and he makes a lot of records. He makes guitar improvisational records. Yeah. He made a record last year that was guitar and banjo. Cool. You know. Yeah. Picker music, but check him out. My favorite record by him is Way Out Weather, but this record is. Well, I know you have a copy of that in the store. We can listen to. I need to hear that. All right. So before we wrap things up, there's a couple of things we didn't talk about. Sturgill Simpson. I think it was on the list for last week. Oh, did we not? No, we never talked about it. And my producer's going to kill me if we don't talk about that album. Do that. So let everybody know what we're talking about. I know we don't have it handy, but that came out last week or this week? It came out last week. Right. And you know, he is such a unusual artist. He's probably the least defined by genre artist that I can think of in the modern recording area. His first record's folk record, second record's like a Waylon-esque country record, sure. Third record's a soul record, fourth record's a hard rock record. Yeah. This album, bluegrass. Yeah, well, right? Two bluegrass records, and then this record is very much like a redheaded stranger type. Tell everybody the name of it, because it's Dude and I'm Janita, or why are we doing this? Go get it. I'm going. Go get it. In the meantime, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And of course, we got to talk. There it is. Look at that. Thank you to our wonderful floor director. The Ballad of Dude and Juanita. There you go. It even looks like a Willie record. Looks like a Willie record. That's the first thing I thought about when I saw it. I mean, probably his point of reference is Bob Dylan, and sure, a very long narrative that tells a story. But there's another Lockdown record. Did he say something like, "This is going to be my last record" or something? Did I read that right? I did not read that. He said something. He could have been kidding you in an interview. Who knows? Yeah. Because he's witty cat. He is a witty cat. So this comes off two bluegrass records of all like his catalog. But this is there's a narrative, there's a story to be told here. and Willie Nelson even guests on the record.
Yeah.
So
there you go. That's the.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked that. I mean, it was on the list. I don't know why we didn't.
Yeah, that's like kissing the ring. That's like, that's amazing.
My wife loves this guy.
Yeah,
loves this guy.
Yeah, he's so cool, and I missed him. I had an opportunity to see him, and I was like, it was one of those last minute. Whatever, and I should have gone. And also, I've watched that freaking Tiny Desk performance by him 1,000 times. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Awesome. I'm not kidding. I can watch it again and again and again and again.
We went to go see him at I think it was the first time he played at Houston. We saw him at Fitzgerald's, and it was like the week that record blew up. Yeah. The Metropolitan sounds of country music. And people, like, we walked up and there was some guys like, I'll give you $200 for your ticket.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to go to the show.
Yeah. I got to see it.
And it was great.
So also we got to talk about lost a pretty big presence, a big person, a big artist in the music industry, right? Charlie Watts.
And, for me, Stones are such a touchstone. Anybody that loves rock music, it's a touchstone band. There's all those guys are doing something unique, and it comes together, and it's a singular voice. And I just don't know how you move forward without that guy. Now, I'm sure they're gonna.
Oh, no, they are. They are. Sure because kind of like Dusty, ZZ said, look, Dusty's not well. Elwood's going to sit in for a show or two. I think they had already mentioned that, or he might have even played a show. I don't know. But they were like, yeah, Charlie's, Steve Jordan's going to sit in, which, of course, he did the Expensive Winos. He's done a ton of stuff with Richards. Perfect guy for that vibe to sit in and swing. Plus, and he's jazz background. Is incredible drummer. But the thing with the Stones is we were talking about this. It's like, Bonham dies and Zeppelin goes, that's it. Okay, it was a different time. The Stones have been around so long; they're so massive. It's a corporation,
and the Who did the same thing for a while. Like, how do we move?
They
forward?
brought Kenny Jones in, who, by the way, somebody pointed out the other day that while it did not have that great energy like Keith Moon, he didn't come in and try to play Keith Moon,
right?
Which, respect and for what it was, it was what it was. But yeah, the Stones they're a corporation, man. I mean, there's a lot of employees and lives and people that depend on this, especially a Stones tour.
Yeah. Well, so, it was interesting when they rescheduled all those dates.
Right.
That there were some
the first time because of the pandemic.
That they had to. They had to move them around based on the NFL,
right?
Because they play these monster arenas. They had to, the ones that they had to cancel, they replaced them with other dates, which tells you that they already had everybody's money. They don't like it.
Right.
And we'll see where it goes. But I mean, just to talk about Charlie, Keith, even in that 25 with the first sanctioned biography film, I guess it's more of an autobiography. You hire the filmmaker and everything.
Right.
You're telling your own story. But Keith even says, with no Charlie, no Stones. We'll see. I don't think.
We'll see. We'll see what's up. Couple of shout outs. Alice is watching. Melody Love dialed in from Rhode Island. What's going on? Stephen Brown, shout out to you. Just catch everybody up. Robert, I'm sorry I'm getting to this. Taha Aleem, I'm not sure where he's checking in from. Desperately want to visit Cactus Music Store one day.
Oh, nice.
Robert Vircher, your Texas flag is hanging backwards. Let's see. And Gia Pari, little shout out there. So guys, thank you for hitting the share button. That always helps us out, keeps the boss happy, and maybe they let us keep doing this.
I will say, if you're on the other side of the Texas flag, it's hanging.
This is true because most of the store is back there. We're sitting up here to the front of the store. If you've never been here. Also, one thing on touring, I think an announcement this week. I think Phoebe Bridgers said she's doing no indoor shows.
And Wilco just had to change up there.
Right.
They made that switch too. I can't even imagine being an artist trying to navigate.
Yeah, you got everything back, finally back on track, and now it's just looking really scary.
I mean, it's scary for bands. It's scary for fans. And when you were talking about how many people are the Stones on tours, people were like, "Well, I can't think of do these shows." Sure, they're old, but they're insular, but the people that work for them have to engage with hundreds, if not thousands, of people a week.
Yeah,
it's a big problem. It's because a band like that, those people have worked for them for decades. Exactly. You do it.
Yeah.
We shall see. I mean,
they're going to finish out whatever dates are promised, scheduled, rescheduled, whatever. After that, it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do.
Yeah. So, but Phoebe, I would love to go see. I've never seen her.
I've never seen her.
We had an in-store scheduled with her, and it did not happen. So, and then now I don't think that would ever happen. So
I was watching a live Boy Genius per YouTube thing the other day, and it was like, God. So good.
Their Tiny Desk concert thing is great.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, there you go. There's your hot plate of delicious vinyl. I don't know where I was going with that at all. I have no idea, but we did this a lot. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Follow at Cactus Music on the Instagram. Hit the share button. Tell everybody to watch. We'll see you next Thursday, 12:30. Peace. Bye-bye.